What's your dating experience like? Are you having fun? For some, dating is an enjoyable experience. Just be sure you have a lot of money, a nice car, a six pack, great career, or at least a business venture. However, if we're being honest, dating in America for men has become a struggle. In fact, one might argue that it's damn near impossible.
You are hour, but you're an hour away.
No, we're not
You're
going
an hour
anywhere.
away.
We're not going anywhere.
What's wrong with IHOP?
We're not going
What's
anywhere.
wrong with IHOP? This is we young? Like, what's the problem?
Stop. Put your phone down.
No, what's the problem?
Phone down.
What's the problem?
For a living.
I don't work.
So what do you do during the day?
Nothing.
You don't want to work?
No.
So you're just living off of his child support?
I am.
Consider what the average man has to go through, or his options. You either deal with someone who has multiple children, or at the very least, someone who is using you for your assets, status, or time. With no change in sight, many men have opted for several options. Some go monk mode, willing to spend a lifetime of solitude, all in the name of peace and quiet. But this option leaves men without one of the very thing every guy wants at his core: companionship. The next series of options are to either become a stepdaddy, pay for the girlfriend experience, or endure the abuse of a woman who is simply using him for his assets. But what if there was another solution? What if there was a way to find attractive women who aren't argumentative but cooperative? One that is loving, understanding, and most of all, feminine. Enter the alluring passport bros strategy. The current hottest solution for Western men of all colors, background, and financial levels. The process of becoming a PB is very simple. First, get your passport. Secondly, get some money and pick a destination. Pretty soon, you'll be on your way to living in a nice tropical paradise where the women are fine and the sun shines all the time. But is this the truth? Is it really that simple? Is it all reward and no risk? In this video, I take an in-depth and unbiased look at what it really means to be a passport bro and some of the things PB loyalists won't tell you. Thailand, the Dominican Republic, Brazil. Just a few of the many countries that are championed by passport bros. The American dollar stretches further, lasts longer, and in these countries, you can be the highly touted 1% or high-value man. Even J. Cole and Bass think it's a good idea. Since we're on the topic, what is a high-value man? A high-value man is a man that is desirable, purpose-driven, respectable, charismatic, and strong. Or in internet terms, someone with a lot of fucking money. Becoming a 1%er sounds great. Other men respect you, the women want you, and you have access to the cream of the crop. What's there not to like? There's just one problem. Becoming a 1% man in the Western world is hard as fuck. With hustle culture running rampant across the country, most men have opted out of the race, and the rest have given up entirely, convinced that it's impossible to become great in America. But how does one take advantage of being the 1% without all the work? Here's how you go from zero to hero in one plane trip. Start by getting a remote job, or something that you could do that makes money on the internet. That won't be hard to do. Consider telemarketing, tech sales, or even computer programming. These jobs are remote, pay you well, and are always in high demand. Once you get that job, you could save up a decent amount of money and make the next steps a breeze. Next, get a passport. Duh. This shouldn't be hard to do either. The next step is so simple, even a caveman could do it.
What? Oh, no, not cool. I did not know you.
Pick a location where you're going to stay. It would be smart to pick a country that touts the American dollar higher than their own, obviously. Which one could argue is every country, but in this case, you want to go somewhere nice, tropical, and inexpensive. An Airbnb would be a great place to stay, but if you want to stay like a true elite local, consider a hostel. A safe one, obviously. Once you've got all your ducks in a row, you're ready to leave the West and its unruly women behind and become a passport bro. Get ready to enjoy the beaches, the food, the culture, and the unlimited dating options. Who truly love you for you. I love traveling as much as the next person, as well as visiting different countries. But let's be clear on one thing. Living in a foreign land does not guarantee you a better life, especially if you're from the Western world. What does this mean? Much like America, overseas women still look at you like a wallet or status totem. I'd almost argue doubly so, especially if you're thinking about bringing her back to the US. Additionally, you're also still susceptible to foreign laws and foreign violence. Let's explore some of the things passport bros won't tell you about this strategy. The biggest issue comes down to race. Unless you're a Chad, Do you really think these women would want to date you without money? This isn't an attack on any brown or black man traveling overseas looking for love, as I myself am Caribbean. But consider the cultural discrepancies. More than likely, women are simply using you for your American clout and American dollars. Don't believe me? Check out this clip here.
The African American men are more like, yeah, I don't get attention from my women over there, so that's why I come here, and you women are the best. And we all are in cahoots. We all know what time it is. So that's all I have to say about them. They're not special over there. And they already have made their own reputation in Brazil and DR and Colombia, all that. They've already made a terrible reputation. We're obviously not going to say it to their face because we got to hit the licks.
Oh!
Next, most, if not all PBs revel in sex tourism. Granted, both women and men participate in sex tourism, but we have to be clear here in stating that a large amount of men participate in this traveling style. What is more hypocritical here is that a majority of men denouncing Western women because of their promiscuous lifestyle all partake in hiring women of the night.
Mommy, what's up? What's your... Yeah, maybe. Free... What's your name?
Diana.
Diana. Oh my God. Yo. You got WhatsApp?
Yes. What's up, baby? No chicas right now with me?
Not right now, because I'm going to meet my friend, go pick him up for breakfast. I mean, for lunch.
There's a humongous difference from a regular tourist and a passport bro. So passport bros are this community of people who are getting together, who are literally like sharing their life hacks of how to get with other women in their travels, as well as simultaneously, and this is a key difference, they shit on their domestic country's women. So this is a completely sexualized tourism, right? It's not saying, hi guys, we want to travel and we want to make new connections and, here's a travel blog. It's not a travel blog. It is a concerted effort to say, we don't do well here. We are kind of losers here. We know that in other countries, we have a economic and passport privilege. So we are going to go to other countries and we are going to use and abuse those countries' women freely.
I wouldn't go as far as to say men are abusing women overseas, but there is some validity in her statements minus the abuse portion. Both parties are aware about what's going on here, so I can't agree. What I can agree with is that most of these men, much like the women who travel overseas, are not looking for love. While we're on the topic of love and money, let's consider the cost for flight, stay, dining, etc. I'm no math whiz, but I'm intelligent enough to know that traveling is expensive. Say you're looking to fly from New York City to Rio. You're looking at almost $2,000 for the flight alone, unless you're flying Spirit Airlines. Next, consider where you'd stay. Want to stay in a nice area as far away from crime as possible? That'll be nearly an additional $1,000 to $2,000 US. Just playing with round numbers, we're already almost at about $3,000 to $4,000 before stepping foot in the country. Add on the cost of drinks, parties, dinner, and excursions, coupled with the idea that you'd be taking out your newfound boo on a date, that's quite the cost just for some poontang. Not to mention, some PBs genuinely go broke overseas.
And that kind of brings us to the next thing that I see. We have a low self-worth, a low self-esteem. That comes from, all the years of being told you're nothing. The images and all of that play out on television, in the movies, in real life. So we have a low self-esteem, so we end up settling for things that far less than what we deserve. Look, guys, don't settle for anything that you don't absolutely want, 100%. But we're settling because of our low self-esteem, our low self-worth. You're good enough, but we're being used, man, at a disproportionate number overseas, and I see it. This is a wake-up call. All the passport bros traveling around the world looking for love, looking for relationships, man. We've got a target on our backs, guys, and y'all don't even know it. I'm the only one that's going to tell you. I'm the only one with balls enough to talk about it. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm trying to wake you up. A lot of this stuff is subconscious. So you don't even see it. But I see it because I'm paying attention. But the next thing, and from what I see, a lot of us, we're seen as desperate over here. And, that just ties into the low self-esteem and low self-worth. And they said, well, you ought to be happy with whatever you get overseas and however you're treated. You should be thankful somebody's even wanting you, because they don't want you over there. Trust me, they know about us around the world. They know more about us than we know about ourselves. And this video is just a flashing red light to guys, because a lot of the people who are coming over here, let's just keep it on the Philippines since this is where I am. This is their first time overseas. They've never traveled overseas. They don't know what life is really like outside of their comfort zone, outside of their cities and states. They think everything is the same here as it is everywhere else. They don't know what signs to look for. A lot of us are older, so we seem like we're in a hurry. We're rushing to do things that you have no business rushing into.
If you're traveling on a budget, just stay home, bro. And if you're liking this video, do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe. It'll help the channel go a long way. Thank you. Wouldn't that money be better spent on stocks or a well-thought-out business venture? Surely some things are worth the risk, but this final point makes it not worth the trouble, in my opinion. Two things that should make you reconsider a SEG's vacation are foreign police and B, being set up by the very women you are seeking to date.
And I'm keeping it a buck. I got drugged yesterday. And it's my fault because I met some chicks from Medellin off of Tinder. So I brought them to my crib. And then I was trying to surprise my boy. And then eventually they drugged us. And guys, they took everything. They took my iPad, they took my MacBook, they took my iPhone 13 Pro, they took my Samsung S20, they took my drone, they pretty much took my credit cards. Like, I got pictures of them, and I'm gonna post it on my channel. Like, Cartagena is dangerous, guys. I've been here for 2 years, almost 2 years, and I've never been in no situation like this. But I want you guys to know, man, like, I post this so y'all can understand this doesn't happen to you. I mean, it could get very dangerous here, guys. Don't trust people here.
Granted, things of that nature happen here in the US as well. How many stories have we heard of men going on dates only to be set up and robbed, or worse yet, deleted because of an armed robbery gone wrong? But I advocate for the US in this instance simply because you actually stand a fighting chance. It would be unwise to bring a woman you just met in the US back to your home, but how many men dating abroad commit this same fatal mistake? I use fatal because it can come with dire consequences. Life is about living. Traveling and exploring cultures offer a rich experience that is virtually unmatched. Long flights from your hometown are rewarded with the chance to explore uncharted lands. But what happens when that experience is centered around finding poontang? What medical, financial, and legal risk do you place yourself in when it comes to SEX tourism? My only opinion regarding the matter is this: travel for the sake of the cultural experience, not for the sex alone. I repeat, sex alone, because it is perfectly normal and common to wind up having intercourse with a man or a woman you meet along your travels. Nothing wrong with developing a natural human connection and attraction with another person. The issue arises when you make it the focal point of your trip. That can have dire consequences. I like to repeat the wise words of our patron saint, Kanye West. When you chase the poontang, it's a sin, but if it falls in your lap, it's a blessing. But what do you think? Are you a guy trying to become a passport bro? Are you a woman and you hate the idea of passport bros? Let your comments be known in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel and show some love to the video as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.